There are certain stories a man doesn't tell right away. Not because he's scared, not because he's guilty, but because he knows the truth would shake the wrong people and break the wrong hearts. This one sat with me for years. Not heavy, just inconvenient. One of those situations where you look back and think, yeah, that really happened. And nobody would believe it if I said it out loud. I was messing with this girl heavy at the time. My shorty. We weren't perfect, but we had a vibe. We had chemistry. We had that I fuck with you the long way type of situation. Enough for me to move right. Enough for me to keep my head straight, even when temptation walked right up to me wearing a smile and a wedding ring. Her family was tight, real tight. Cookouts, birthdays, game nights, they did everything together. And her mother, she was the type everybody respected. Not old, not washed, not one of those moms who looked tired and checked out. She was put together, carried herself well, soft-spoken, classy, warm. The kind of woman people describe as sweet without even thinking about it. But sweetness don't stop a grown woman from being bold. And bold don't always look loud. Sometimes bold looks like a woman who knows exactly what she's doing. And knows you know too. The first time I felt something was off, it wasn't dramatic. It was small. A look that lasted a little too long. A compliment that felt a little too personal. A question that went a little too deep. Not disrespectful, not messy, just intentional. I remember thinking, nah, I'm tripping. She's just friendly. Because that's what you tell yourself when you're trying to be respectful. You don't want to assume anything about your bae's mother. You don't want to be that dude who thinks every woman is flirting. You don't want to disrespect the family. But looking back, I wasn't imagining anything. I was ignoring it. She'd stand close when she talked to me. Not touching me, just close enough to make me aware of her presence. She'd ask about my life in a way that felt deeper than small talk. She'd smile like she was studying me, not greeting me. And the whole time, I kept telling myself, relax, she's just being nice. But grown men know the difference between nice and interested. And she wasn't just being nice. The day everything came to light was at a family function. One of those big gatherings where everybody's laughing, eating, talking over each other. Kids running around, music playing, people telling stories. Just a normal, happy scene. I was helping set up something, moving chairs, grabbing plates, whatever. Focus, not thinking about her, not thinking about anything but the task in front of me. And that's when it happened. I felt someone walk up behind me, close, too close, close enough that my body reacted before my mind did. Then she touched me. Not a friendly pat, not an accident, not something you could explain away. A touch that confirmed every suspicion I'd been brushing off. A touch that said, without a single word, you're not imagining this. I meant everything you felt. I didn't jump. I didn't gasp. I didn't freeze like some square. I just stepped forward, slow and controlled, putting space between us. Because I knew exactly what she was doing. And she knew I knew. When I turned around, she was already walking away, calm, collected, acting like nothing happened. Like she didn't just cross a line that should have never been touched. And the crazy part, she didn't look guilty. She didn't look scared. She didn't look embarrassed. She looked satisfied. Like she finally said what she'd been wanting to say without using words. That night, I sat with it. Not stressed, not confused, just irritated. Because I wasn't blind. I wasn't naive. I wasn't some dude who didn't know when a woman was giving him energy. If I didn't fuck with my bae the way I did, that situation could have gone left. Not because I was chasing anything, but because I'm a grown man and I'm not stupid. I know when someone is bold enough to test a boundary, but I wasn't about to disrespect my bae. Even with our ups and downs, I rocked with her heavy. She didn't deserve that. Her father didn't deserve that. And honestly, I didn't want to be part of a story that messy. But I also knew one thing for sure. If I told my bae, she wouldn't believe me. Not for a second. Her mother was her hero, her best friend, her role model, the woman she trusted with everything. She would have thought I was lying or exaggerating or trying to start something. And I wasn't about to put myself in that position. Some truths don't help anybody. They just burn everything down. After that day, I kept my distance. Not scared, just smart. I avoided being alone with her. I avoided conversations that lasted too long. I avoided giving her any opening to try something else. And she noticed. Oh, she definitely noticed. I also had her husband in mind. A male simp is unpredictable. But like I was saying, she tried to talk to me, try to stand near me, try to act like everything was normal. But I wasn't playing that game. I wasn't about to let a quiet, bold woman drag me into a situation that could ruin lives. Because that's the thing people don't understand. The most dangerous situations aren't loud. They're subtle. They're polite. They're wrapped in smiles and soft voices. And if you're not careful, you'll end up in the middle of something you never asked for. Eventually, I ended things with my bae. Not because of her mother, but because once you see the cracks in a family, you can't unsee them. I realized I couldn't build a future in a house where the truth lived in the shadows, where people smiled on the outside, but hid things on the inside. And I never told her why. Not then, not now, not ever. Because she wouldn't believe me. Because it would break her. Because it would destroy her relationship with her mother. Because some truths do more damage spoken than silent. Some stories stay buried out of mercy, not fear. Looking back, I learned something important. People have layers. People have sides they never show. And sometimes the sweetest person in the room is the boldest one when nobody's watching. I didn't ask for that situation. I didn't entertain it. I didn't encourage it. But I'll never forget it because it taught me that even in the safest looking families, there are secrets nobody talks about. Some situations stay with you not because they were dramatic, but because they showed you how people really move when they think nobody's paying attention. And that whole moment with her mother, it taught me more about human nature than any street lesson ever did. It showed me how quick folks will test your discipline just to see if you're really who you say you are. And the crazy part is, she never apologized, never pulled me aside, never acted nervous. She carried on like she didn't cross a line at all. That told me everything I needed to know. She wasn't confused, she wasn't clumsy, she wasn't having a moment. She knew exactly what she was doing. That's when I realized something else. Sometimes you're not avoiding trouble because you're scared. You're avoiding it because you know you're capable of way more than people think. And walking away takes more strength than leaning in. Not to mention the added stigma of being from the opposite ends of the track. Pookie learned that the hard way.